Hey guys, this is a general reading, but before I get into the reading or who it's for, I'm just going to say some quick messages real quick. Please keep in mind that these are general readings, so some, none, or all of this may apply. Energy is fluid, so this could have already happened, it could be happening now, it could happen in the future, it may not happen at all. Some, none, or all of this may apply. I can read it as you. It can be someone else close to you. I can read this as love. It can be career. Just apply it to your life as necessary. Don't make it fit if it doesn't. Okay? Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to the channel. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos. Also, for those of you who have inquired about donations and donated to the channel, it really means a lot to me, for not only the reciprocity of energy, if this video has helped you and all of that, but just, you know, the give take of energy and everything like that. Also, for information on services, so whether donation, services, all of that, my information, PayPal information, email information, all my service information, well, most of it, I'll be updating it soon. Hopefully it will have, I'm in the middle of putting together a website, so I'll actually be able to move it over to there. But all that information is there. So please read all of it, including the disclaimer. Don't just stop at my email address and then email me. It just saves me time. I'm always willing to help somebody out, but if it's there, it saves me time. So please read all of it. But if you still have questions, obviously email me and I'll help you out. So donations, services, all of that information is in the description box below. Any decks that I'm using, I will pin as the top. I'll put the links to the I'll put the links to the decks that you can get, so you know for sure which ones you're getting in the it'll be a pinned comment in the top comment section below. Also, it's also a way to contribute to my channel. It's doing something you were already going to do and it costs you nothing extra. So if you like the deck, you already wanted the deck, you'll know exactly which one you're getting, and it's another way to help contribute to the channel, just as a way of showing gratitude at no extra cost to you, of course. So yeah, please like, share, and comment, subscribe, because between donations, between services, between liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, buying even decks through the links that I provide if you're called to them, they're all ways that help me along my healing journey, that help me heal and learn tools to learn for myself how to heal. To also then learn how to give back to others, because a lot of people, they really need help right now, and it's something that I really am being called to do. I have my master in Reiki, and so I already do that as a service, but I'll be starting to teach that in probably January or February of next year. I have 3 of my 4 shamanic directions of shamanic training done. And if everything goes according to plan in 2020, I will be doing plant spirit medicine, all of which I can either do in person or through distant healing. So it really helps with that, and I greatly appreciate it. I think that's it. Thank you for everything. And so we'll get on to the reading now. This is a general reading for Gemini for October 2019. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you have significant Gemini in your chart, if you're just drawn to this video, if you're cross-watching, like for another sign or something, or another person, for more of a complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you, please check out any of my videos that I've either already made or will be making in the future of your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever you're drawn to, significant placements in your chart, all that good stuff. Please, again, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I put out different types of videos, and it more likely you'll get my videos when I put them out. Sometimes YouTube's a little wonky with putting out notifications. I think that's it for right now that I can think of. I have to say, I'm not sure if it's me yet, But since I've tapped into your energy, my head feels a little off. I don't know if you're not really seeing things correctly, in the sense that something may be blinding you, which is funny because in the center of your reading, which I'll show you, you actually have a blindfold of something. I don't think you're seeing things correctly, and it may be your emotions are not allowing you to see things properly, basically. There's almost like this sense of like a fog or an illusion. I don't know if this is leftover, because I know sometimes I get this a lot in sometimes sort of Scorpio readings, more so Pisces readings. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Pisces or if it's like maybe a remnants from the Pisces full moon. But either way, let's get started with your reading. In the center of your reading, you have quite a few cards. You have the Eight of Swords. So here's you sitting with a blindfold on. This is something you're not seeing. I mean, clearly you're trying to get some type of communication. But you're not getting it. Eight of Swords, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups. So here's maybe the water sign that may be hindering you seeing things properly. Eight of Cups, again, water. King of Swords, could be an Aquarius. This could be you. I kind of get the vibe this might actually be you. And then Ace of Pentacles, again, I feel like this is you. So, let me pick my book back up so I can look. So there's something I feel like you're kind of stuck in, whether it's just a pattern or a wish or a desire or a situation, that you're really kind of feeling stuck in or boxed in by. That might have even been good at one time, but some type of, it could be celebration or gathering, but foundation really that you've been in. Maybe with this other person, maybe it's a Queen of Cups, somebody with a very emotional, nurturing energy, or just emotional energy. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I also get that this may not just be somebody you've been dealing with. This might have actually been you. Like, it's not that Geminis aren't, you know, capable of emotions, because they totally are. But it's like you've been almost in the energy more of like a water sign, like more in your emotions. It's really weird, actually, because I feel like this can flip-flop. Like, I feel like as of now or in the past, you were more in the water energy, and somebody else was more in like the King of Swords energy, but not maybe in the highest of King of Swords energy, almost in like a manipulative kind of King of Swords energy. And I think you've just been very like stable and nurturing, in that, you know, loving, nurturing, grounding force. Just always the one providing, really. And either somebody walked away from you, or you walked, I think you walked away from somebody, and possibly because you learned some information, and you wanted to go find something better. So I think somebody, has been in this King of Swords energy, but I also think that it's almost like the roles reversed, where if you have, or will, like say this is future, if you have already walked away, somebody else is more now going to be in the more emotional sense, and you're going to be more in this matter-of-fact logical sense. And I just get there's knowledge that you've learned, and you're like just going to go find a new beginning, something that is more lucrative for you. Whether you go focus on your money, whether you go build a business, you're just going to go build something else. Because I think at one time you built something here with this Four of Wands. And for whatever reason, it wasn't fulfilling you. I don't think you were getting back what you were giving. And I think you were giving a lot. Not because also your energy, which I'll show you in a little bit, but I do think this was actually you. So you could actually be with water sign, but I feel like you were actually in the energy of the water sign. You were more in your emotions and more just giving and nurturing. And I feel like the tables have turned. And what is affecting or influencing this is there's the Five of Wands. So, you know, could be a lot of options, a lot of competition. But I just wanted to clarify on what that is. A lot of different of opinions, gossip, you know, all that stuff. And the ace, it's like the Ace of Flamingos, but the Ace of Swords came up. And on the bottom of the deck is the Devil with the Five of Cups. Can I get one more on the Five of Wands, please? Yeah. Knight of Wands. Like, you found yeah. You found something out, because these also came up. So, Knight of Wands with the Ace of Swords. It's Pepper Mills, but we're just going to go with the suit. And then the other ones that just, like, flung out were Justice, which is weird, because this Justice almost has, like, a Hangman vibe. And then right after it, you actually have the Hangman. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. It's like oysters, but you learned something about somebody that you were with or involved with, or somebody that you're like associated to. And like you figured things out. Like you're now looking at things like there's no room for emotions. You need to think more logically in this. Like you have just seen that you have not been seeing things correctly. Things have not been balanced. And I mean, it's obviously somewhat sad for you, which is why you have the Eight of Cups. You know, you're going to seek something more fulfilling. What's in the foundation of this reading is you have the High Priestess, you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Six of Swords, and you have the Page of Pentacles. So in your subconscious, but in the foundation of this reading, you know, again, you have the High Priestess. So I think things coming to light, like you learned and saw something. Maybe about somebody else, but I don't know. Something about it really made you to where you were like, no. Like something about it made you take your power back, basically. Like you're now going from the Queen of Cups energy back to your own of Queen of or King of Swords, but also the Queen of Wands. Like you know your worth, you know your power. Like you're just not really having it. And you're moving on. I mean, you're kind of looking back for a minute. You're like, that kind of sucks. It worked out that way with the Six of Swords. You have the full moon here. Like you're releasing and walking away. Like even mentally you're, or it wants you to release it. Maybe even with other people. I mean, you could be going off with other friends, or if you have kids, doesn't really matter. But you're starting a new, different journey. So again, you know, this is kind of showing up with what's in the center of the reading, where you're ending with the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, if you look, these are pretty much very similar. I mean, you could even be flipping a coin on which way to go, but you've been trying to look for direction and all that. But either way, you're going. You're releasing yourself. It's just, I want to say on one hand, anything's got to be better than this, but at the same time, I feel like, it's like on one hand, it happened quickly and suddenly, but at the same time, like you knew, if you look back, you saw the signs. So it's like it did happen quickly, but it didn't at the same time. That's why it's like I want to say anything's better than this, but I'm just curious what okay. I'm just wondering what I don't know. I don't know if finding out about these people or someone else was a last straw. Because I feel like there was an uneven give and take anyways. I feel like there was manipulation anyways. What was the last straw? Her birth. But, well, I mean, there's your tower. There was definitely something that you saw. It's like something happened that you couldn't ignore. Like, it wasn't even, I don't even think, honestly, it was like just the universe that it was happening. I think it was like you saw what somebody was legit doing that maybe you were blocking out before, or just choosing not to see. And it was creating stagnant energy, but you were just kind of like ignoring it. And I don't know if you got like a download or if you just couldn't ignore it anymore, but you yeah, like you decided to fight and look and have strength. And for some reason you decided to look into it, or you found out about it and you decided to pull back the veil that you were choosing to ignore in what was found. I mean, I think you saw dynamics of your relationship you didn't see before. But whether that person was just, it wasn't about love, it was all about competition, one-upping who was going to win. Just gossip, lower level energies, but there might have actually been other people or a other person as well. I mean, it's obviously going to be different for everybody, but there was something that was learned, and I don't know how specific it's going to get because this is a general reading. Yeah. So you have Knight of Wands and the Devil. Like, just somebody was not having good energy and doing good things, and there was overindulgences. in whether it's love, sex, drugs, whatever. Like, it just wasn't what you thought it was, to put it most simply. And you saw. In the past, or the recent past, either one, you have the Magician. So, I mean, you could have been trying to create things. It is a Gemini. It's a mercurial energy, so it is a Gemini and a Virgo energy, which you do also have Virgo in your environment. So you might either be having, you know, Virgo type energy around you, whether it's just what you're in or participating in, like the Hermit energy, or this might literally be a Virgo. But there was manipulative energy. Tell me about the Magician. 3 of Cups, like just facade illusions. Somebody trying to tell you what you want to see, maybe. Queen of Wands. I mean, it could also be a Queen of Wands, and you found out about a Queen of Wands. Because it could also be like either Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Temperance seems to come up quite a bit. So does Queen of Wands. Either way, though, I feel like my spit almost went down the wrong hole. I feel like there was illusions, and somebody was creating this on purpose, hence manipulating. And it could have either been this Queen of Wands or forced you like into kind of the Queen of Wands energy. I'm not even sure if you know it at this point. I mean, what's in the crowning of your reading is you have the 3 of Cups, which came up a second ago. And then kind of under that, coming down, you have Temperance, again. And you have the Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups always, for me, is just not a good version of Knight of Cups. Like, here's a shark coming with it. Whoever is coming with this, just not great stuff follows. This is usually somebody who's, like, just in love with love. Somebody here clearly has overindulgence issues. Because you have the Knight of Cups in not the great a way. I mean, it's already not that evolved anyways, but this isn't that great of a form of one. And then you have Temperance really trying to balance things out. I mean, that's really what's being shown in this card is balance. Like, not only is she balancing, but you have cupcake stuff, healthy food. There's, like, water and martini, laptop, book. So, like, healthy versus unhealthy. And then 3 of Cups. So I don't know if this is what you're thinking or doing. Maybe there's a chance that some of you are trying to decide between 2 people. I don't really get that as much, though. I think it's what's around you, but of course apply it as necessary and flip-flop it as necessary. But this is kind of what you're thinking. So you either don't see it yet, or you do, and you're just all wrapped up and still like the whole game of it. Like you're kind of in the middle of, you know, being a victim, like an impasse of being a victim and acceptance and empowering yourself and applying this for growth, you know, of utilizing this knowledge. And you're kind of still in the more worried about you or the vanity point. At some point, you are going to have to forgive on this. It's going to teach you a lesson of growth and forgiveness. But you're kind of still right at the impasse part. But in your likely future, you have the World card. So I think you are going to let it go and be done with it. Why do they get to the World card? Because you know your worth. So you have, again, this Knight of Wands keeps popping up. So I have a feeling this Queen of Wands might actually be the person. Like, there's secrets around them that you found out. And I think their actions, though, are of the Knight of Wands. But I still do think they had the energy of the King of Swords. I mean, they were very logical and, like, manipulative about it. But so when I asked why you're going to get to the World energy of the Knight of Wands, and you have the Empress, like, and they're moving away from each other. Like, you know your worth. Like, you don't have time for this. You don't want, like, you see it. You see clearly now. That's funny. It's like, you can see clearly now the rain is gone. Yeah. And it changes, though. Like, you do learn something from this, because you have the Wheel of Fortune, it turns, and then you have the Ten of Pentacles, right? The Ten of Pentacles, yeah. So, I mean, no worries, you know what I mean? There's a whole change in cycle here, but yeah, you end up being like, I'm good, thanks. Which is also reflected here, like how you see yourself, full energy. You're like, yes, like, you're free. You just rid yourself of it. It is kind of curious, though, that you see yourself as the full energy and, like, starting over and all that. And she's, like, so happy. I mean, something might have also come in for you, too. But in your thoughts, you're still all about all this that happened. So we'll move on from that, but make sure you watch what you're thinking about in this manifestation cycle. Okay? I mean, I get it. You're going to have to process it and everything like that, but don't spend too much time on it to the point where it hinders you truly freeing yourself and going and creating and building. What's in your environment is the Hermit. So I do think you're kind of reflecting and growing and taking time to yourself. But I feel like this is also a person around you. But let's see. Tell me about the Hermit. Yeah. It's like this game and this illusion that somebody was playing. This Hermit is somebody around you. I do think it's energy that you're taking part on now to some degree, because that's why I think maybe that's why you're ruminating in all these energies in your thoughts, is because you're sitting here in this Hermit energy where you're transforming. That's kind of what a Hermit does too, is they take their life lessons and they kind of transform it, release the hurt of it, and they turn it into wisdom. You know what I mean? So it's like they go through the process of letting go what doesn't need to be there, but then they keep the wisdom. And that's kind of that process to me in my mind that the Hermit goes through. Is that's kind of one of the parts of the Hermit where they're deciphering that process. Seeing it, going through it, what turns into wisdom to move forward with in life lessons. So you are doing this. And so is someone else. I mean, I don't know, if they got caught with their pants down type thing, literally and not literally, where they're just sitting there thinking. There was some game, like this is the Eight of Wands, but there was some game that they were wanting to play with you. Like, come play fetch. Like, it was kind of the illusion of it. And for Geminis, you got to be careful of that, because Geminis are very problem-solvy. You know what I mean? I don't even know if that's a word. Like, they like to solve problems and think about things and figure things out, and blah, blah. And if you have somebody with this kind of illusionary, manipulative type energy who likes to just have fun with people just because, Geminis can kind of, if they're, haven't had this lesson yet or whatever, kind of get caught up in that. Especially if they're a little bit more in their emotions, which you clearly were, because you're starting out here, I believe, as the Queen of Cups energy. So you were definitely in your emotions here. And I don't know if it's just because you were really digging this person, or if it was because they did stuff to manipulate you to get you. A lot of people, when they're manipulative like this, and they do like illusion type stuff, they do stuff to trigger you, to get you to stay mostly in your emotions, because they know you won't think logically if you're in your emotions. So, something happened, some type of tower thing happened where it popped you out of it. You saw something. And you stopped playing this game. And it goes then to the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So you stopped playing the game. They are a little sad and remorseful, but I mostly get they're trying to be like, like, it doesn't bother me, it whatever, like, that's fine. See how he's more like, instead of being sad, he's like more haughty. Yeah, that's the right word. But that doesn't last too long, because then they go into this Nine of Swords, where it's like really getting to them. So, I mean, they're really reflecting on it. I mean, Virgos do kind of tend to have an anxious, nervous energy too, as well. And they're very much in a Virgo energy too. But I think they are coming up as, and I think the reason they're coming up also as the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, they're coming up as a few different, and that, I think that really plays, I know I'm all over the place here. It's very Gemini-like, right? So I think that's another reason why they're coming up as so many different energies, is I think they're representing so many different energies. They are playing, it's an illusion, you know what I mean? Like a magician, they play what they need to play for whatever they're trying to get. And this person is playing whatever energy they need to. When they need to be charismatic and that one that invites you in, they go in their Wands energy. When they need to logically, strategize, they go in their Swords energy. When they need to be like, illusion or this, like, I don't know. And that's not totally like Virgo energy, but there's a mercurial energy, like in the way of when they need to manipulate your way of like thinking or communication. That's what Mercury covers, is thinking, communication, like connections of things. Like they're going to go in their more mercurial energy. This person is very much a shapeshifter. Very much a shapeshifter. So I'm sure they can pop to Earth energy too, but I don't know if you were financially the stable one. Because, I mean, come to think of it, there really aren't a lot of Earth cards or coins, and the only one that is your energies. Like what you're hoping for, or what you're doing, or the energy you were embodying. So I don't know if this person is an opportunist. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio. I'm not saying anything bad about Scorpios, but I mean, Scorpios are known in astrology as, you know, the ones, they seek opportunities. And I say that because you have a Scorpion down here. And to me, Scorpio represents a lot of different energies as well. They have a little bit harder of a time with the earth, but as they evolve, that's probably one of their later ones they go up to is earth. But Scorpios have a water energy. They definitely have an air energy. They definitely have a fire energy. And then I think as they evolve more, they evolve and take on more of the earth energy. So I don't know. That doesn't really matter. But this is this person around you, and you stopped playing the game. And at first they acted like they didn't care, or they were acting like they didn't care, and it's starting to get to them. They're starting to get anxious. Why are they getting anxious? I think they wanted or thought that you would always be there. Yeah. And they see that, I don't know if it's that you're letting them go and they're losing some of their control over you. Like, even though they may not have been the nicest to you or respected you, it was like in their own little weird way, like their game was their way of how they, I don't want to say showed love, but it was their little thing with you. You know what I mean? So yes, it did serve them in a way of having someone to, you know, mess with and stuff like that, but it was their way of keeping you around. It was their way of controlling you. It was their way of getting what they want. It was, they've built up so much time. Like it's like you're part of theirs. You're theirs. Tell me about the Lovers. Yeah, like it was a love, but it was a very selfish love. Like you were important to them, but in a possession kind of way. And that's nothing against you. It's just where they're probably at. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of time built up and a lot of investment in you. There's very much, person's probably very narcissistic or has a lot of narcissistic tendencies, but they invested a lot in you. There's been a lot of time, and it just sucks that the game's over. Like you were probably one of their best players. And, you know, they see you as shutting it down and tearing it down. Tower. Before I move on, I want to see something. I just want to see if they're kind of like sitting and pouting, or like what they're actually thinking. So they're thinking about justice. That might be why this is like this. So, I mean, I don't know if they think this is the best they can do, and it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'm not going to go into whys and build up a bunch of compassion. It's just what you need to know right now. They're thinking about justice. And you have justice and you have five of Pentacles. As of right now, things could always change. But they're seething, or they will be. And they don't like how they feel. And I think they're going to want to know how to sting you or get you back. And I don't know necessarily, like, they may do it through getting you back. And this is kind of very narcissistic at the same time. Like, a lot of narcissists will bring you back or try to get you back by any means they can to punish you. And it gets worse after that. So, and it's weird because you got, like I said, you have a lot of, I was like talking about Scorpio energy. For one, this is October. At the end of October, you're in Scorpio energy. I was explaining Scorpio energy. You have the Scorpion as, and I'll get to that, as what energy for you to be like. Or guidance. I don't know if this person will come to their senses or if they will have a level of compassion or whatever. But as of right now, what they're sitting there doing and plotting, instead of ruminating about what happened and what their part could have been, they're plotting revenge. They want you to feel as miserable as they feel right now. Or they just want you to feel miserable. Like, they're not stopping and thinking at the slightest what part they played in what happened. They don't like that you caught on and that you are trying to free yourself. Why are they planning this? For a new beginning, they could possibly try to get sex out of it, but I get more of also like passion and anger too. This is the Ace of Wands. And you have the King of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and Judgment. So I also don't know if they are trying to actually get money or something out of you. Or if it's just, it will make them in not like such a lack mode, because like right now they would be in the Five of Pentacles. It would help make them feel better, raise their status. Like, it's like their way of having like a comeback, I think. Like, not even just with you, but within themselves. It will make them feel better. Yeah. And they can close this out and move on. They can be the one to truly come in and on you and close out. Like, you left them, this sucks. You left them in a way of basically sitting with crap in their hands. Their own crap in their hands. You left them with their own crap in their hands. And they didn't like that. So they're going to want to come in and scheme, get possibly something or some things out of you, but make you feel like absolute crap and leave you feeling the way they do or worse. And then that will help them rise. They feel like it'll help them rise back up and put them back in the way they want to be. Mentally, energetically, everything like that. Maybe that's another thing with this Ace of Wands is too. They want the energy shift back. And then they're going to close out the cycle, the World card. And they're going to go on their own new beginning with the Page of Wands. All right. So I think enough said there. I mean, I have to turn my light on soon. Your hopes, you have the Sun, and you have the Three of Pentacles. I don't know if you're hoping for happy times and to go and create again, but I think part of you still wants this to like come together and work together. Tell me about the Sun. I keep getting books. Page of Swords. Like, I think that you want, for one, you want to feel better. And you would prefer that it would be this starts out in a better cycle the way you wanted it to, but you at least want to feel better. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. Yeah. I think you want to feel better, possibly even with somebody else, but I think you are, a part of you is still hoping that this comes together and works itself back out. Like you have the page of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the one where there's the game, the Ace of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. Which sucks. I mean, I don't think this person even sees that you probably don't. You probably feel exactly how they do. And they're just looking at it like a power shift or a power struggle. Like, oh, they won. They're feeling good. You know what I mean? They don't even see that you're already like not feeling great or in pain. And the Three of Pentacles is you have the Page of Cups. You have the Two of Cups. And then you have the Death and the Devil reversed. So you want it to come back together, but in a healthy way. Or at the least you be happy and all this crap stop. What you fear is the Lovers. So I think Lovers is you, Gemini. I think maybe you being by yourself, it could also very much mean like you want this connection. Part of you wants this connection, like your twins. One of your twins wants this connection and the other one doesn't. You might either also even fear the one of you who does. Tell me about the Lovers. Strength. It's like normally it's the lady and the lion, and the lady is like calming the lion, and it's like now the unicorn is going buck wild and the lion's like licking the unicorn and calming it down. It's almost like reverse. The one that's normally calm isn't. So the part of yourself that is normally calm or rational may not be. I think you fear like either losing control or not, the part of you that's normally logical and has your best interest and is normally together is not. And it's actually like your beast or animal or primal side that's actually the one that's calmer and is like ruling things. Like, I think you're scared that your emotional or your primal or your reptilian or animalistic side is going to be the one that's more in control. You fear the war between your twins right now. I hope you keep that in mind and work on that, because this other person probably is going to have that in mind. They probably already know it and have it pegged. So this may be a time in between to really look at your shadow side and be honest with yourself about which parts of you are in control. Try to get them more integrated. You know, look at your past hurts. Where are your wounds? Where are your weaknesses? Where are your things that trigger you? You really start to do that work. I mean, or completely leave this person alone. Because this person is they're gonna know. They're gonna know what buttons to push, or at least they think they're going to. So I would recommend doing some work in the meantime, or completely leave them alone. But sometimes, I mean, that doesn't even help. I would still recommend doing the work, because even if it's not them, there's like here, see, there's this person, it's the Seven of Wands. Like there'll be many, they may come from many directions, whether it's them, whether it's other people, whether it's social media, whether, I mean, it could come from many directions. So, not trying to get you on a high alert fear type thing, but it's just something you may want to keep into consideration, or keep in consideration, whatever. Because this person is currently planning and plotting. And I'm not saying that to put it in a fear way. I mean, it's going to push you to do your work. You know what I mean? And you're going to grow from it. And you got to keep your emotions out of it, though. And when you get triggered, try to, you know, just sit back and watch it and let it go by. I mean, if you even have to be around this person, I wouldn't necessarily say to run from them out of fear, but I also wouldn't go spending a lot of time with them. I wouldn't open your vulnerabilities, your heart, your emotions, anything like that. Stoicism, gray rock, no contact if you can. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to take on this challenge or not. But, you know, like I said, I don't think they see what energy you're in. Honestly, I don't even know if they care. I think they look at it like you won, or they didn't get what they wanted or something, or they don't like how they feel, and they just want to pay you back. In the likely outcome, you have the Chariot. So, I mean, great. For likely future and likely outcome. Likely future, the World. Likely outcome, the Chariot. So, you let this go. You release. And you move forward in a more in alignment, integrated way. You may try to choose which path exactly you want to take, but you know it's not the one you just came from. So that's at the same time. You know what I mean? That wipes out one path. Tell me about the Chariot, please. So it's a better path, though. Wherever you go, this lesson is truly learned. This World card. It's truly, and you have integrated that lesson, came together, moved forward, because you have the Ten of Cups and you have the Ten of Swords. So, I think you get to a point where you look at it like there is no confusion. You either go this way and you go and build that life which you want, or you go this way and you know it's filled with crap. So your path may become very clear because of all this. Or it could just be also that you just now know in any path will be better than this, and this whole Ten of Swords energy is done, and you're now learning and you're going towards the Ten of Cups. Yeah, like you're releasing the burden. I think you did a lot for this person. I think you were really over giving. And I think this was meant to be. I think it's all part of like the mystery of life and the lesson for you to learn. Have gratitude for this situation because it's really teaching you, and it's teaching you how to integrate your twins and equal energy and all that. But also like just learning things about yourself, what's in your own shadows, about your other twin, about life, about world, about the people. Like, not everybody is like you, you know, not everybody thinks like you. And this person really taught you that. Plus they taught you how much you really can give and what you can do. Let me put the mysticism. Showing you what it's like, mysteries in life's way of, you have mysticism, you have gratitude, you have guilt, and this person, like, see, they're like chained and they're like ironing while this person's sitting back getting drunk, I think. Pretty sure. What? And I think the mysticism is kind of like, this was a lesson for you to learn what you want and what you don't want. And really to kind of have your twins not face off, but sort of. Like, they had to come together in a way, because if not, it was like to your demise, to both of their demises, you know what I mean? So they kind of had to come together, and like one twin's like, no, I want this. And the other one's like, no, I want this. And then it came to a point where they're both like, just deer in the headlights looking at each other, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're on the same page. I get it. No, F that. You know, like they finally had to get to that point where they're like, all right, you win. And they're like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry you lost. We got to go though. So it helped you inner-wise, which is why I think you have this Chariot. It really helped you really get things aligned within and see parts of yourself and get them more on the same page, which is really all about what, I mean, yes, it's about your higher self, your middle self, your lower self, and all that going in the same direction, but it's really, I mean, if you look at most chariots, it's about the white horse and the dark horse, you know, it's about your light side and your shadow side, and hopefully they're aimed in the same direction. And there was parts of you that weren't. And this situation, whatever this is that's happening, is helping get those two parts of you really in the same direction, so that you're aiming in the right way and you can get there quicker and build better. So have gratitude for this situation at the same time, and, you know, have forgiveness, because, I don't know, I have a very, very spiritual viewpoint on stuff like this, but I feel like a lot of times people contract in this world to do stuff like this, and who am I to say this person's life is not happy? But to me, I view it as quite a sacrifice, you know what I mean, to come and show me, and I'm sure other people in this life, lessons to integrate them and to wake them up and all that other stuff. So it's a huge sacrifice that really, if you look at it, really comes out of love. And I hope you see that as a Gemini. Geminis are usually very motivating and kind of inspirational. But even though it doesn't look like it on a surface level, from a spiritual level, this act was done out of love. Like, I came and sacrificed in my happiness, and maybe even being able to be in your life. That's another thing about Scorpios, now that that's coming up, is especially when they're lower level, but a lot of Scorpios will sacrifice themselves. They will sacrifice relationships and things like that to teach you a lesson, or to make their point clear, or to get revenge, or anything like that. So not only are they sacrificing you being in their life, possibly depending on how it goes, but until they have their awakening, if they ever have it, some people never do. I don't know. To me, that's just a sacrifice. That's a life of like, just ugh. So it still sucks and it still hurts, but it's quite a contract and quite a sacrifice that was made in this lifetime. And for them to come in and wake people up and show people lessons, that was because they loved you that much. It's human wise, most people don't see it that way, but if you look at things from a spiritual way, I keep saying it, but I actually want to read this book that, kind of shows that's called like The Little Soul in the Sun, and it was contracted to teach the lessons while we were here. But anyways, I do think that there's something you're going to have to watch out for and learn from. And it's not quite over, but to where you either see it and either transform it, get away from it, or like get sucked into it. You know what I mean? So just be aware. The energy where you've been in is elk energy. And this is a very nurturing, stable, grounded, just of stamina and being there and move forward. It's a very earthly, grounded sign. And that might actually be why this person was, eventually going into the Nine of Swords, is that you yourself or something about you and whatever you provided could have been a grounding force to this person. They might actually throw themselves into a type of crisis or awakening or something by doing this and making you go away. Because then when they're going to need you, you may not be there, or may not be there at least in the way they want. Another thing is too, just as, whatever, another reason that they may be sitting there planning on doing this is because they may already be spiraling for whatever various reason. So that might also be why they're doing this or planning to do this to you. And that's why it was probably the King of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. I don't remember what the other one was, but they're trying to do it to ground themselves. So that's kind of sad, but you were more of the nurturing, giving, stable, enduring, just being there, going the rock energy. You were the rock energy. Whether it was you were always doing, you were just always there, you were always dependable. They could depend on you. Which is a little crazy. A lot of people don't say that about Geminis. I mean, some Geminis really are, but it doesn't matter. But for whatever reason, you were a very dependable energy. And really, that doesn't matter. I mean, and not saying you're not, but people can even be like not dependable and still be dependable. It's just whatever they're depending on you being. I hope you get what I'm saying. But you must have really cared about them. Let me put it that way. And I'm not talking about Geminis because I have a lot of Gemini. My moon and rising is Gemini. When you really care about somebody, which explains why you're in your emotions then. When you really care about somebody, you Geminis are more often very stable, sturdy, very giving. They're always just, it's when they're not really interested in something, or somebody's like a certain way to them, or their other shadow comes out or whatever, that they could be a little more fickle. But when they really care about something or something's really important to them, so that's why they saw you as the elk energy and why you're coming up as the elk energy. And you were more in your emotions originally. Your advice energy to be in is Gazelle and Scorpion. So that's I'm not gonna say not that great, but I mean, this gazelle, it's telling you to like, the gazelle is gonna be more likely to run than the elk. They're gonna run faster. They have huge ears. I mean, the ears are like way bigger than on the elk. So they're very on high alert. Like, they're listening. They're paying attention. They're getting ready to run or act whenever they have to. And then you have Scorpion. So not only is it telling you you may want to meditate on these energies and take some on your own because you are going to have a battle or something of the sort, but I think because there's also a threat. And like I said about, like, I didn't get it when this first came out, but as I went on to the reading and did the channeling and I looked into this hermit energy, I was like, oh, okay, that's like you're planning on being stung again. Or retaliation. Like, here's your supposed happiness and you're on high alert while you're doing it. So see, here's yours. And they're planning on coming in and stinging this. So here's this. This would be your sun energy, what you're hoping for. Your sun energy, your Three of Pentacles. And they're hoping to come in and just right on it. And I would also, like I said, meditate on the Scorpion energy, Scorpio and Scorpion energy, you know, be a little bit more mysterious, be a little bit more secretive, be a little bit more like watchful, intuitive, a little less trusting. I don't want to tell you to be paranoid, but just keep an eye out, you know, just saying. When I asked for other energies here, you have storm warning. You have walking away. And there's anxiety. And I don't know why on the bottom of the deck. Here's your sun again. But underneath that, you have deceit. So I think you isolated yourself from some level of deceit and manipulation, and it's brought you blessings. Maybe even a caring connection. I don't know if you left this for someone who was better than you, or you left this and now you have a bunch of good friends or supporters, or you just care about yourself more, but you're on your way to that. I mean, you have the sun. Here's your deceit. I think you got away from that. You went to your blessings, cornucopia, door to spirit, caring connections, happy family, angel of love. You have the temple path, thinking woman, thinking man, man holding the coin. Somebody is they don't like that you got away, and they're envious of what you got away to. Like what you're either building, what you walked away to, whatever it is. And they just don't like it. They're not thinking, feeling, or doing that well or whatever. But, and then another card that came up for you. I might pull another card to get a clarify on this. But you have asked, Midnight Prince, ask for what you want and be honest. Okay, so I guess I kind of do get it. Because this is like the fairy of like wish granting. And they're saying be honest about it. Like, what do you really want? So this is also a time, because whatever you're thinking and putting your energy into while you're manifesting, so watch what you're thinking about so that you're watching what you're manifesting. But also, I think, you know, you really need to think about, like, do you really want this? I don't know. I mean, is there a way they can transform? Even if they do, I mean, do you really want that? Like, let's pull another one just to see what comes up. Can you give me one more advice on this? Greenman's Door, Galactic and Gaian entry points. You are about to pass through a potential doorway of time. Thus, you will soon have access to other dimensions and realities, including that of the fairy. It is time to consider becoming a walker between the worlds, to draw back the veil and to part the mist. Which I'm not sure if that's what you already did. You actually had that before, where you were peeling back the veil. To do so will bring healing, change, and powerful magics into your current reality. Ask the Green Man and the Fairy Maiden for permission to enter and make an offering. Then prepare for deep, beautiful, abiding change. Please see the front section of the guidebook for the early dates of the doorways. I'm not doing that. Make an offering, place your hand on the door, and push ever so gently, then she will open. It's like, it's funny that you got both of these, you know what I mean? Because you have the Midnight Prince, which is all about wish granted. And then it's telling you, like, sometimes this door is able to be open and sometimes it's not. And apparently, it doesn't matter all the time. Apparently, something for you coming up now is telling you this door of this portal to something else, some other dimension, time, or just phase of your life. Like, you have here, you know, the ending. Like, you have the Chariot and you have the World. Like, there's an ending to a certain phase. You know, with these energies, I mean, you've got a lot of great things you're walking into. The Sun, cornucopia, door to spirit, caring connections, happy family, angel of love, temple path. Like, you might actually go, you might actually go find other connections, whether it's romantic, work connections, soul tribe connections, friend connections, whatever, that make you happier and help you grow. I don't think they like that you're growing and leaving them. Because if you look, like, I just noticed, which I've never seen this before in this Lover's card, like, yeah, they're, you know, together, they're tied, whatever, but if you look, like, this is it gonna focus? I think I have a harder time focusing when my light is on, but I don't know, I might be able to show it to you, but this is like an arm. It's almost like a ghost. There it is. It's like a ghost person. It's the head, here's the eyes. It's almost like, I don't know if they're summoning. I think you fear being controlled by this connection, too. Like, you hope to have happy, joyous connections where you could build and grow. You don't want to feel like you're stuck, bound, or tied, or controlled by the connection. And I think that's what you feel, is you feel like you're controlled by the connection. Which could either be the connection or it could be their energy. I mean, it's yours too, but it's not like they exactly make it that easy. But there's another, like, there's 110. There's another portal or realm, or you're going to another, like, space and time and whatever, but a new way of life, like a new way of being. They might really try to either come and be part of that, or I'm more getting, and again, I don't know if it'll always be that way, but as of right now, they're not in the highest of vibration, and I think they're going to try to ruin your beginning. They don't want you to either leave them or, even more so, grow and be better than them. Because for one, they're very envious and jealous, and for two, it holds them more accountable for what they're not doing and makes them feel not as great, like they're being left behind. Also, it doesn't feed their reality of the story. They tell themselves that stuff like that isn't real or possible. Because if they know you and you go and do something great or really grow and shift yourself, it means that they could have done it all along and they just didn't. They sold themselves out or they weren't good enough. Whatever story they want to tell themselves. So you also being held back not only possible keeps you in their life, because now like you make them feel better about themselves because you're on the even playing field, but also they're good enough for you. You know, they're not left behind. You don't make them feel like crap, but you also, like I said, reinforce their storyline that stuff like whatever you're going to do, or the magical, like say if you went to become a singer or a business or something, you became famous, I don't really know, wrote a book, like that's not real life, you know what I mean? Like just there's other people that do that, you know what I mean? They've got for some reason a limit or a filter on themselves and they're trying to impose that on you. There's so many reasons for it, to be honest. It's not really for you to worry about, but there is a chance that, you know, they can change eventually, especially as you're like, you stand up for yourself or just don't play the game of it. And then you go and lead by example and do your thing. And then it gives them the opportunity of a balanced mirror to see, oh, they can do it. And then they've got to face themselves. What's the likely outcome if Gemini doesn't play into the game or allow them to be stung? Like, what's the likely outcome for the environment energy? I mean, so they might have their own change. Like, they might act like they're not fazed by it, but then have some type of self-love. They have Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, High Priestess, Death. So they might literally have, you know, their own heart opening or their own self-love, some download and realization, and see past the veil themselves with the High Priestess. And then go to changing of cycles, maybe ending the game themselves. After this. Or they try to come back around to you to control you, or they just find someone else to loop around and start this all over with again. Yeah, it's more so the latter, unfortunately. They probably will try to pull you back in with the Lovers. I don't know how easily they'll give up on you. They'll either try to reel you back in, or honestly, they'll probably have a few people. They'll probably continue with you, but still have like others. But, even if it looks even if they have some type of realization, they just loop back around to their old patterns. It's short-lived, if they even have it at all. If not, they just rotate back around on their patterns. And then some don't have the realization. Some have the realization, short-lived, they loop back around their old patterns. Some don't have it at all, and they just loop back around on the old patterns, trying with other people and trying to find ways to feed their ego and be victorious and put their stability back together again. You know, survival of the fittest. They do what they have to do. I don't think they'll easily give up on you. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not even going to go there, but you don't need to worry about this person. The only thing I would worry about, not even worry, but they are scheming and they do have plans. So that's that. I think I'm gonna, is there anything else? I guess I'll pull an animal card and then we'll be done. Also, any of the decks that I'm using, I'll leave pinned as like the top comment in the comment section below. There'll be links there for the Amazon link, so you'll know for sure what decks they are, so you know you're getting the right deck. Also, it's a way of giving back to me and sharing the energy. It's just another little way. So like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, put out different types of videos. That supports my channel. Also helps circulate the message for people that need to hear it. For information on donations, for those who want to give and receive the energy, thank you so much for those of you who have and do. Also, if this video has helped you in any way, PayPal information is in the description box below. My service information is in the description box below, email address, all of that. And then also the links, which are at no cost to you, no extra cost for the cards. So it's something you were already going to do anyways, but it helps support my channel. It's like minute, but plus, like I said, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. It helps guarantee you get the deck you actually want. But anyways, check all that out. The abundant universe will provide what guiding message do you have? So I do think you'll be provided for. You are hitting abundance. You had Buffalo energy, Vulture spirit. Time for beginner's mind. Nothing is wasted. Please know this happened for a reason and be grateful for it. Let's get one more. Be loyal to what you love. Dog spirit. I'm telling you, this lesson is going to teach you what you want, what you don't want, where to put your energy, where not to put your energy. There's like an integration happening. I would still love this situation, have gratitude and compassion for this situation, but love yourself enough to not put yourself around things that aren't healthy for you. Oh, Buffalo spirit came out again. Lion spirit, be generous of spirit. And Buffalo spirit, the abundant universe will provide. So this situation is pushing you forward into a way of going after what you love, what's best for you, and growing. And you're coming into a time of generosity and abundance, and you will be taken care of. Like you're, again, here's porcupine spirit, time for a beginner mind. And believe in yourself, squirrel. Transformation is beautiful. You're going through a new path. So with this whole, so you're ending likely future, right? World card. How you see yourself, Fool. You're ending a cycle and you're beginning a new cycle. So you're literally starting with the mind of a child again, the curiosity and heart of a child. So remember to have the mind of a student. Teach as you learn, but have the mind of a student. You're going into a new path. You don't know everything. Always have the mind of a child while going and growing. And even when you're 80, have the mind of a child and a student. But teach as you learn, because you're going into a new cycle. Time for a beginner mind. Believe in yourself, though. Transformation is beautiful. That's exciting. So you shouldn't have too hard of a time with that, even though Geminis are very knowledgeable and like they know a lot and stuff. Like they love learning. They have a lot of curiosity. They literally, though, to me, them and Pisces, and sometimes Taurus too, have the biggest of like inner child spirits. And even if you think you're not strong or smart enough or good enough, you are. So believe in yourself. It's going to be a little rough because you're transforming. Not only from this situation, but even going forward, you're going to have to learn new skills and all that. But anyways, I love you guys. That having trouble talking in this video. I don't know why. But anyways, like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Okay? Thank you so much. I hope all goes well. Keep your head up. Congratulations. You know, bittersweet kind of way. But I love you guys. I'll be seeing and talking to you soon. Bye.